My name is Jazmine. I'm a sophomore, and I am a poet.
Okay.
It's tribute and remembrance back to the days when our ancestors were beaten and bruised for even thinking of being free. So now we freely marinate in our Black culture. Yes. Soak, season, marinate, and bake till golden brown. Just like that melanin when the sun shines on us as if we're pyramids of gold, and her skin glistens in the sun as if vitamin D was made solely to shine on my brown skins. See, even if you think that Black culture is that dose of vitamin D you so desperately need, my culture is my culture. It is the smell of fried chicken and collard greens on Sunday afternoons after church, church mothers with big church mother hats, from old Negro spirituals to old gospel hymnals to anthems for the culture, from I was born by the river to I was running through the six, from wading in the water to whistles while you twerk, and while you twerk, look back at it to back when being black and free was a sense of twerking. That was my liberation every now and then, because then there was no emancipation. So my carefree blackness is how I pay my reparations. My culture is my culture. So I come from a small town called Ahoskie, North Carolina. Most people have probably never heard of it, but it's too bad. But yeah, it's super small. Most people have never even heard of it. A really kind of like dreary town, I guess you could say. Poverty stricken, like a lot of people don't come out of it. So when I did, I was like, I'm never going back. But yeah, I had a pretty good childhood. I was the youngest out of 6. I was the first and actually the only to go to college. I graduated as valedictorian, so like my family pulled up deep on graduation day, like what? So yeah, I had a pretty good childhood. So being that I was the youngest, like I was literally always doing something. And then because I was like kind of so far in age range away from my brothers and sisters, I was kind of like isolated. So I would always be like recording videos, like making dances, just kind of doing whatever to keep me like occupied, keep me busy. And then I would like put on shows for my family, just kind of learning poems, like being inspired by people like Maya Angelou. Like I loved Maya Angelou when I was in elementary school. And then kind of like starting to write after that, that was when kind of I made my transition. And so then it became like writing and performing and stuff. Honestly, without like E-Write and poetry and spoken word, I would not make it at all. For me, spoken word and poetry and writing, like in general, that's my release and like how I express myself. So I'm actually like in a poetry class, and like it's kind of like because you know you have to kind of factor in the fact that you're teaching black students poetry, so like really sometimes it's like redundant and it's like annoying, but at the same time like being able to use like my creativity, like my writing skills, and just like definitely using it to my advantage in my classrooms, like perfect. I'm definitely cheating the system at this point. And so E-Write, the premier spoken word group on campus, that is pretty much like what we do. We just kind of like find that like intersection of like performance and then writing, and then kind of use it to like voice, I guess like pretty much use our voice as a means of protest, as a means of expression, kind of like honing in on those issues. I guess, yeah. Pretty much it. And like kind of like contemporary artists for today, like Worcestershire. I just recently like discovered her. Like of course like most people know of her from like the Beyonce poem that was featured on Lemonade, but like her work is amazing. Tiana Clark, like I've just literally like through this poetry class that I've been in, I've been able to find some of my favorites, and like it's just amazing. So I feel like I wrote this poem, and this is gonna sound weird, but it's called The Build a Nigga Workshop. So I went through this phase where like I was really struggling like with relationships, because it's like this idea in society that like you really have to like build like the men, especially black men, like you have to build them, you have to stay with them, you have to stick with them, let them grow, let them make mistakes. And like I don't know why I took that idea and ran with it, but I literally sprinted with that idea. And so I was going through this phase where I was literally like trying to build me a boyfriend, like I was trying to build me a nigga, and like it wasn't working. It definitely was not like healthy for me. And then I actually went back to it like after I thought that I was over that little building phase, and like I was able to finish it. I performed it at our Valentine's Day show last year, and like watching the video now, like I I feel like writing the piece helped me like put down and like kind of inscribe like what I was doing, and helped me to like realize that like this is not healthy, and just kind of like being able to like write that out and like actually get it somewhere where I could like look at it and just kind of let it hit me as hard as it was hitting me. I feel like I definitely needed that, so that's definitely my favorite piece. Build a nigga workshop. Someone I can't live without is my mom. Like, I honestly don't know what I would do without her. Like, even though she stresses me out a lot, and like I know that half of my stress comes from her and her worrying, I know that like it's good for me. She's there for me. Like, whenever I need to cool down, I'm like, let me call my mama so she can talk foolish and I can like get a laugh and just think about like how good, you know, things are. So I feel like the biggest challenge I faced was kind of deciding what I wanted to do as like in regards to a professional career, because at one point I was like, psychology, I'm definitely going into like the mental health field because like this is what I want to do. So from there, like I knew I wanted to be on TV, I just didn't know like how I would do it, how I would get there, and if it was even possible. And so just kind of like telling myself that it is possible, like, and seeing like people who have done it, I just feel like that was like the biggest obstacle for me. And so ever since, the only thing that has been in my way is me, and like kind of encouraging myself like it's completely possible. I was able to switch my major, I'm starting my vlog finally, just doing what I need to do to head in the right direction. So okay, Jazz on fire with Here's the Heat. There we go, shameless self-plug. No, I'm kidding. If I got $1 million today, this is always my hardest thing. I'm just like, am I gonna stay in school? But I know definitely like I'm gonna give back to my family, give back to my community, because like we really struggling in the high school. We need help. This is the SOS, we need help. But I'm gonna help my community, give back to my family, definitely like invest in something. I don't know what, we're gonna research it, we're gonna invest in it, and we're gonna keep the money coming. But also I'm a ghost.
Thank you.
And I am UNC.